work together before it's too late. Spread the peace, stop the hate. Let's work together before it's too late. Spread the peace, stop the hate. Join the peace police, keep America great.
Hello everybody, welcome to our Peace Police broadcast. I am Rick White. Happy to be here with you today. Normally, I've got my partner in crime when it comes to Peace Police and many other things, my friend Lowell Pass. He's really the founder of Peace Police, and he's not feeling well today, so we gave him the day off. We were not here last week for various logistics reasons, but we're back. And you just have me today, so you'll have to get through without the wit and intelligent commentary from my partner Lowell. Hope you feel better, buddy. We just thought we'd talk about a few things today. So I always like to give a little bit of hey, what the heck is this thing about to folks? And so I'll do a little bit of that. This will be a relatively short broadcast. We'll try to keep it under 20-25 minutes, something like that. But essentially, the Peace Police is a movement, an organization that started almost a year and a half ago, at least a year and 3 months or something like that. We started a while ago, and it was started when my friend Lowell, who's not here with us today, called me up. He and I talk weekly at least, and we have for 20, 30, 40 years, almost 40 years. And, in our weekly discussions, we talk about politics, what's going on. Ever since Trump was elected, things started to seem to get wild. I think you can agree that with the Trump election, there's been a heightened sense of kind of uneasiness. That's a mild way to put it. People are kind of starting to lose their minds. And there's been violence, there's been crazy stuff with, where people in public, just because they're wearing a certain hat or a certain shirt, they get attacked. It's been crazy. So we were watching some of that stuff, and my friend and brother Lowell kind of had a dream. He went to sleep one night, and after we'd been talking about this stuff, you know how that kind of primes your dreams. Well, he had a dream that there was a group of people who were just saying, hey, knock it off. Stop this craziness. And the name of that group of people was the Peace Police. So he called me up and told me the idea. And we worked on that idea together. We developed lots of different concepts on how to do it and what we were going to do. And you heard a little bit in the beginning of a song. So there's a song associated with kind of what we're doing. That's one of the things we did. I'm a musician. Lowell's a musician. But we created a website, a logo, a song, and started just getting out there, started telling people the message. So what is our message? Well, what I'm going to do is shift to our website. So you can see that, I hope. That's our website. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Hang on a second. Let's just do actual size. So the main thing that we stand for are these 3 core values. And it's funny, there's really not a single person I've ever talked to about these 3 core values who hasn't said, yes, I agree with that. And here's what they are. There's peace. It says there, Americans are peace-loving people, yet lately it seems peace among our citizenry is beginning to disintegrate. Rhetoric is becoming hostile and hateful. Shouting, verbal attacks, and harassment are becoming all too common. People need to learn to peacefully disagree. And that's what we mean. There's a scripture in the Bible that says, as far as it's possible with you, be at peace with all men. And so that's what we talk about. Are we talking about peace at all costs? Of course not. Of course not. No one would ever say peace at all costs, even if it, if there's a time when the right moral thing to do is stand up and take a stand. Of course we support that. But as that paragraph says there, rhetoric is becoming hostile and hateful. Shouting and verbal attacks and harassments, it's just the common thing. It's what you see today. And it's getting out of hand. And the next thing you know, fists start flying or worse. So that's what we stand for peace. Civility is just what it sounds like. Whatever happened to manners? Whatever happened to polite disagreement? Whatever happened to respect? Instead, many paint those who disagree with them as evil. And let me tell you something. If you paint the other side as purely evil, then guess what the next step is? Evil must be eliminated at all costs. Do you think that the bad things that have happened in the human race over the past, since we've been around, the big, horrible events that have happened, they started, where multiple people have died. Those started by painting the other side as purely evil. And if you do it, if they really are 100% irredeemably evil, then you're left with no choice. You can't work together with them. But that's what's happening right now. The right is being painted as evil by the left, that Trump is a Nazi, and that anyone who supports Trump is a racist. You hear things like this. Anyone who supports Trump is evil to the core. How could a Christian ever support Trump? Trump's anti-Christian. All this stuff you hear, blanketing entire groups of people. And the same is true on the right? You could say that every Democrat is a socialist, communist, libtard. You've heard all these words, all these phrases. So that's what we mean by civility. What happened to manners? Let's stop calling each other names. We can disagree, but we can and should debate passionately, but the hate must stop. Peace starts with people self-policing their hearts and attitudes. So that's what we mean. When you see this police thing in our logo, that's what we mean. Communication, this is discourse. And this is the other thing we stand for: peace, civility, and discourse. What's cool about discourse is this: let's talk. Another verse says, come, let us reason together. Let's reason stuff out. Let's talk. Let me hear your side. Let me listen to you without interrupting. Let me do my best to really try and understand where you're coming from. And then please do me the courtesy of listening when I present my case and really try to understand my perspective. And then let's find areas we agree on. And if there's areas that we disagree, after we've really tried to convince each other, let's agree to disagree and move our separate ways, or remain in fellowship, remain in community with each other with whom you disagree. This is what we've done for a couple hundred years as a country, but it's disintegrating. So communication and discourse. Let's talk about the issues. These are the three core values of the Peace Police. And that's what we're about. We had some good news this past couple of weeks. Our logo, which you see up here, and those three up in the left, those three stars stand for those three core values of peace, civility, and discourse. This logo just got the trademark approved and registered. So now we're going to go back and put that little R next to it, because it is literally a registered trademark. So that's good for us. That's not an easy process. It's taken almost a year, and but we're glad that that's happened. So we've got a lot of cool things coming. We're really excited about what's on the future. What's on the horizon for us. You can see these hats that we have. We're going to talk about that in a second with that great logo, and we'll talk about how you can help support us. Some interesting things here. We've been involved in lots of discussions just in our personal lives, and also on Facebook as people see us talk about these issues. We get on there, and let me tell you, we're passionate about what we believe politically. On this show, you might even kind of hear our own political opinions bleed in, right? Lowell and I tend to lean conservative. We come from a Christian church background where we both were pastors. So you'll hear some of that conservativeness in what we say. I hope what you'll never hear is us being hateful to those with whom we disagree. But that's kind of what we're about here is, in fact, what's funny is I have several very liberal friends who have signed up to be a member of the Peace Police. And I'll show you how to do that in a second. But one of the first things you can do is like our page. You're watching this right now on our page, and we'd love for you to check that out. So like us. We're up to almost 400 likes, so please do that. Let's go back to the website where I can show you a few other things you can do with the Peace Police. So we've seen the core values. I mentioned a theme song. This is that theme song. It's called Spread the Peace. You can get it on iTunes, right on our website. You can click here on the right, and it says available on iTunes. And here's the words. You should check those words out. It's really about what we're doing here. And listen, if you buy this thing on iTunes, you know what it does for us? It gives us essentially 69 cents out of the 99 cents. Which, trust me, we're not getting rich on the Peace Police. It's not why we're here. But it would help us. We could get some better cameras, some other equipment to be able to present our broadcasts in a more professional way. We're trying to do those kind of things. So check out the theme song. The next thing on the Peace Police website is this section here, where you can join the Peace Police. And what you do here is you answer yes to these 5, that you promise these 5 questions. And listen, this is not like joining some cult or, anything like that. What this is, hey, I promise to stand for peace, civility, and discourse. I promise that if I interact in any public discourse that becomes hostile, hateful, or violent, I will not engage in any hostile, hateful, or violent speech or actions, and instead will seek to be a calming influence. Isn't that cool? That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to be a calming influence. So you put your first name, your last name, your email, and what's cool about that is it'll generate a certificate that you can then download. I can even show you. Watch this. Let's make it somebody crazy. Let's make it John Lennon. And when you just do those 2 things, your name and your email address, this will generate a PDF and display it for you that you can download and hang on your wall. And I'll tell you, there's a lot of folks that have done this and have shown their solidarity with us, which is very cool. So you can see a certificate of membership with today's date on it and signed by me. So that's what you can do on the website. So we encourage you to do that. Another thing, there's a message from Lowell, our founder. And if you click here, you'll hear kind of the story I told you about, how we were talking and how the dream happened and stuff, and just kind of what Lowell's all about. And really not just what Lowell's all about, but what Peace Police is all about and how we all started. There's a section called Know Your Rights, which is good. Freedom of expression in the United States. What can you do? What can't you do? It's important to know. And then, you can shop and help us by snagging a hat. These hats, there's some deals. Buy 2, one of them's $20. If you buy multiples, you don't have to pay extra shipping, so that's nice. But they're really nice hats, and I'll have a story here to tell in a second about what having these logos and having these hats out in public does. And then if you go back to the home page, you can click here. It says Become a Patron. That'll take you to our Patreon account where you could sign up to help the Peace Police monthly. And again, trust me, we're not buying yachts or anything with this stuff. This is a way to us to just put money back into the Peace Police. So I wanted to mention that we're going to have some more merchandise coming soon, like some shirts. I've got a Peace Police shirt on right now, which is kind of hard to see. There you go. But some shirts, and what's amazing about this stuff, the hat, which you can get right now, and I also went and got a phone case made. You can see that. And what's funny is this morning at breakfast, I had my phone kind of face down on the table. And the waitress goes, "Oh, that's cool. I like that logo. What is that?" It was great. It was an opportunity to talk to her. And so I said, here's what it is. It's an organization of people who just want to say together with one voice, let's stand for peace, civility, and discourse. Let's stop all this hateful speech. You can disagree. We can, with me, we can disagree on political issues. We can even be passionate about our disagreement. But we won't bleed over into attacking you personally, calling you personal names, things like that. And certainly not violence and hatred. That's what we're against. And you know what's funny is when I said that to her, she goes, "That's great. It sounds like we need to focus more on humanity and human rights and less on all this stuff, and we're all human. And she said some really neat things, and she got the picture. And you know what? At the end of that conversation, I said this to her. I said, now, let me ask you a question. Do you have any idea from talking to me just now what my political beliefs are? She said, no. And I said, I don't have any idea what yours are either. But can we agree on these peace, civility, and discourse, even if we're on different sides? She goes, yeah, I don't know. It doesn't matter. And that's the point. If we can't get this straight, we're in trouble. If we can't figure this out as a society, as an American society, we're in trouble. We're going to have another election in almost about a year and a half, just over a year, really. And no matter what happens in this election, a lot of people are going to be upset on one side or the other. Let's be clear. 50% of the country feels one way, 50% feels another way. What we can't do is demonize those who disagree with us on the other side. It's not, no matter which side you're on, it's not that the other side, the other 50% of the American public are demon-possessed devils who hate. It's not. It's that they have a different worldview, a different perspective. You can adamantly disagree with it. But listen, if we don't get this straight, the song says if we don't stop this soon, there's going to be chaos in the streets. There's no more time to lose. We've got to stand and spread the peace. So that's what the Peace Police is about. Again, we're going to kind of keep it short today. My brother Lowell is not here. Lowell, we hope you feel better. But my plea to you is, if you want to, at very least, like this page. Right now you're on this page, give it a like. Next thing you can do, if you believe in these 3 values, peace, civility, and discourse, that's all. If you believe in those and think that we should tamp down the kind of hateful rhetoric we got going, and guess what? It's on both sides. Our president says hateful things sometimes, and we don't stand with him when he does that. And guess what? The left says hateful things at times too, and we don't stand with that. So if you agree with that, then adding support to us through liking us, telling other people about this page, getting other people to tune in. Let's make a movement. Let's get this thing where a year from now, when things are really heating up in the campaign, you start hearing people saying, well, you know what? There's this group of people out there that are warning us that we need to be nice to each other, and that are trying to hold us accountable for not, calling names and ad hominem attacks and keeping the focus on the issues instead of all this other, frankly, BS that's going on. Wouldn't it be awesome if we could actually make a difference? Well, guess what? Americans have always made a difference by making their voice known. So make your voice known, join the Peace Police, like our page, go to the website, which is peacepolice.net, peacepolice.net. Go there and sign up and print out your certificate, buy a hat. There's a discount. If you buy 4, you get the 5th one free. The shipping's included on all of them. So certainly please support us if you feel led to do that. Again, our goal is simply to spread the peace and stop the hate. Thank you for tuning in. God bless you. Lowell, hope you get better here soon, brother. And we'll close with our closing outro. Thank you again, folks, and we'll see you next time.
Spread the peace, stop the hate. Let's work together before it's too late. Spread the peace, stop the hate. Let's work together before it's too late. Spread the peace, stop the hate. Let's work together before it's too late. Spread the peace, stop the hate. Let's work together before it's too late. Now brave men died to keep you free. They paid the greatest price so you could speak your mind and live a long and happy life. But I turn on the news and see us fighting with each other. These hateful attitudes are turning